screaming louder through the range. Fuel burns in the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber is rolled with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. Our TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats round and engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel through the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul.
And welcome back to Nerd TV for another Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Cup Series race live from the virtual Darlington Raceway for kind of sort of a throwback week this week as you see 21 sliding off your screen into the right-hand wall. There he goes. And here is the Countdown to Green presented by Icon Apparel Company, where you can find the best customized apparel for your team: hats, hoodies, t-shirts, and sim gloves. All right, here is the track facts, weather, race stats, all that here. That's nice, lovely graphic. Fixed setups, 3 green, white checkered attempts. I think 3 tire sets behind the wall. And we have 79 degrees in the air, 91 on the surface, a little bit of winds at 7 miles per hour, 9 miles per hour now as it kind of picks up. And cloudy, which I would actually call that partly cloudy, but that's just me because there's a lot of sunlight hitting this track. But there you go. There is that for this evening. And my name, of course, is Jeremy Stanley, a.k.a. Jay Swifty. Jason Rockefeller tonight back in the booth after last Thursday having off for Talladega. And then Dustin Loxton pressing the buttons, flying the drone cameras. Hopefully doesn't crash them. 1,000 of hats plus 1. Jason, what's up, man?
Not much, dude. I'm ready to see some old-style Darlington Raceway racing. It should be a really fun one tonight. I know we were just talking about some schemes. Surprisingly, not a lot of throwback schemes here tonight, but obviously the racing always makes up for it here at Darlington. This is by far the trickiest track that we go to. You're always on the edge of control, no matter what part of the racetrack you're on, no matter if it's entering the corner in turn 1, exit of 2, entrance of 3, exit of 4, it doesn't matter. It seems like every single place on this racetrack is sketchy.
Yeah, cold tires especially are just, it's not fun. I'm a big B-class car guy, and I can't figure it out for 5 laps. I have to get the thing warmed up. But this is a little bit of a condensed Icon Apparel Company countdown to green, as we're going to be qualifying in about 30 seconds. iRacing had a little bit of a gaffe moment with the league sessions, I guess, and so it required the league to kind of flip-flop and do a hosted session instead, which cost the company or the league $2 to host a session. So thank you, iRacing, for that. But yeah, we're on race 14 overall. This is the 3rd playoff race. Well, I guess you call it chase. Playoff, throw that away. It's no longer a thing. It's chase. Chase format. Chasing for the Cup, 6 races. We're on race 3. After tonight will be the halfway mark in that chase format. And there's your points. On the right-hand side with a big, beautiful red blob up top with nothing above it. It's supposed to be Smoky Mountain Sim Racing. The SDK is supposed to pull the graphic from the league, but we're not in the league, so therefore there's no graphic. But there you go. Nate Lesko, Austin Wheeler, which is last week's winner, Braxton DeWeese, Blake Trawick, and Nick Kaufman hold your top 5. And that's it. Jason, we are going to qualifying. So here we're going to get our cameras off your screens, ride around this track for 5 minutes inside this qualifying session. And Jason, what do you know about Darlington?
Well, like I said, I know that you're on the Razor's Edge here. I have a C-Fix win here. I think I have 1 or 2. It's funny. I'm not the greatest driver here, but it's just there's just something about coming to Darlington, and I absolutely love it. I love ripping the top in 3 and 4, and I actually, funny enough, was just racing at Darlington on my NASCAR 25 career mode. I forgot how fun it was to drive on there over the last few months since it got released, and even on iRacing, it's so fun, obviously. So here we go. Going to ride on board with Blake Trawick, who was last week's runner-up. down to the corners, barely getting your left sides right on that dotted line, swinging back out to the wall. Then you kind of got a diamond this corner, back down to the bottom, swing back out to the wall, but that wall will come at you in a hurry coming off turn 2 into turn 3. You want to get in there as good as you can, but you don't want to drift up too high to the wall. You want to get back to the gas as quickly as possible, but also not too fast, because remember, throttle input means everything here, especially off turn 3 and 4, because you want to get that good momentum. So right now he's top of the board, but he's going to try to settle in for a second lap. Had to lift out of the gas a little bit longer than he probably wanted, but this lap definitely going to be a lot faster, I would assume, for Blake Trawick, as long as he can probably here down into 3 and 4. He sends it in, and it looks like he's going to hold this middle lane, but off turn 4, Jeremy, that's the thing. If you can get a great run down the front straightaway, you can really set yourself up for a passing opportunity that's really sketchy heading into turn 1. And Blake Trawick, he'll sit second on the board there with a 29.478.
Yeah, we just turned off the 56 camera at the wrong time. He went in there kamikaze to complete his lap too. But here it is, Bryce Hedgecock, car number 18, one of the 3 that I've counted that are running a throwback paint scheme to Bobby Labonte's Interstate Batteries car, and he's going to cross the line for his second lap. Going to post a 29.565 as his fastest P4 overall out of the 18 entries here this evening. Now going on to the number 1, Dana Ryan, which I forget, or I don't know if he forgot the memo, but he usually runs like a different car, but he's choosing to run a current Kyle Larson paint scheme for the throwback race. Let's see what he does in this Valvoline Chevrolet.
Yeah, and Dana Ryan, great run last week. Got his first podium of the year just 1 week ago at Talladega. It was a 3rd place run, first top 5 as well for him, obviously. Those are the little gains that you want to see. I know Talladega had a great finish. We saw Austin Wheeler take home his 2nd win of the season after pulling a late move on Eddie Baker heading into the tri-oval right before it, and Blake Trawick and others were scrambling around behind the number 48 machine, and Austin Wheeler was able to take it home. And with Nate Lesko having a poor finish, it enabled Austin Wheeler to close in, I believe, just a little bit. So now that gap, only 31 points heading into tonight. But we know how Mr. Nate Lesko is at these tracks where tire saving means a little bit more and where you got to be really methodical and your racecraft has to be to perfection. I expect Nate Lesko to be one of the guys to beat here tonight, just like he is every single week.
Every single week, absolutely. This man just doesn't know how to not perform, right? Just doesn't matter if it's road course, big track, small track, twisty track. That 20 car is in the picture. Tyler Bowling, he's one of the best qualifiers of the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Cup Series. He's always putting himself top 3, top 4. I think he's got a 50% chance of making the front row every single week. He's coming across the line here to complete his... actually, this is his first lap now. This is his opening lap. So he's taking a late session here. 52 seconds left in. I don't think he's going to be able to complete 2 complete laps at the times at 30 seconds each. So let's see what he can do on this lap one, because this might be the one and done for the 15.
And you see him downshifting like most guys are going to do here tonight going into turn 3, where you go down into 4th gear and then all the way down the front straightaway, get up to about 9,000 RPM. He's going to shift right there at the start-finish line. He's going to go top of the charts, 29.145. That is over a tenth and a quarter better than our former guy who held the top spot, Braxton DeWeese, in the number 8 machine. Tyler Bowling looks like he is going to be sitting on the pole here for tonight's Darlington race. And man, Jeremy, it's funny because I didn't really like his turn 1 that much on his main lap, on that second lap. I thought he got way too high, and the car looked very uncomfortable heading into turns 1 and 2. And once it wrapped through center and off 2, I thought he was going to hit the wall a couple times. But it just goes to show you are always on the edge of control here on this Razor's Edge at Darlington. No matter how many times you come here, how many races you got under your belt here, it just feels like a different race every single time.
That's how you race at Darlington. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not going fast. That's basically how that is at Darlington, especially on the short run and even the long run. The long run, you're going to be stupid tight or stupid loose. We're going to see how this fixed setup plays out here this evening, but Here it is, the starting lineup for race number 14, or the third in the chase. P1 is going to be Tyler Bowling in the 15, Braxton DeWeese on the outside, and P number 2, row 2, Brandon Finley in third. P4 is going to be Nate Lesko. Row 3 and 5th will be Nick Kaufman in the car 95. Blake Treywick starts in 6th. Row 4 and 8th, Bryce Hedgecock in car number 18. Jeremiah Nelson in P8 in the roundup. Tonight's top 10, Al Likens and Brandon Kelly.
Rest of your 18-car field, row number 6, you'll find Smoky Mountain's own Chris Cash in P11 and Dana Ryan, last week's third place in P12. Row 7, you'll find Christian Marcelli in P13 and Christopher Tate in P14. Row 8, you'll find Eddie Baker, heartbreaker for him 1 week ago at Talladega. There's Dustin Longston. We all know, obviously, hosted. He's not racing. Dylan Ellis, Bill Hagan, though, will round out the rest of your field. So that is not your 18, but your 17 car lineup here tonight at the Lady in Black.
And there it is. Yeah. Thanks, iRacing. That was your Brez Coffee Co. starting lineup here this evening as we're going to go one pace lap. Then we're going to set these things loose for 184 laps. This could be a decently length race, or a race where you're going to have to get your popcorn and a couple bathroom breaks to get this thing completed. We're going to find out as we're approaching 5 o'clock server time.
You almost said potty breaks.
I was going to say potty. Dustin's taking his now before he doesn't have to do it halfway in the race. That's probably what's going to happen here, and hope you guys enjoy it. Hopefully we can carry the energy for 184 laps. It's playoffs, man. It's exciting. Nate, this is a wild card track, if you will. It can get congested early in these corners, stacking on top of each other, especially being on the outside. I would want to be on the inside because it's so easy for these cars to wash up, pinion to the outside wall. It can cause some problems for these guys.
Yeah, and this race tonight's all going to be about tire strategy, how your car is going to rotate through the corner, how good you are at conserving that right rear tire, because Darlington is all about that right rear. You are always on the edge of control here, on that razor's edge, and I'll be saying that a lot more here tonight. A couple storylines heading into tonight. So not only does Nate Lesko lead the points over Austin Wheeler by 31, but Blake Treywick moved up one spot to 4th. Now he's minus 73. After that second-place runner-up finish last week at Talladega. And Nick Kaufman looking to redeem himself. Had an incident last week at Talladega. He dropped one spot to 5th after finishing 16th, and now he is a significant amount of points back, almost 100. But, Jeremy, with that being said, the Lady in Black is ready to be tamed.
She is ready, so are these 18 drivers. Pace car down, throttles at the ready. Green flag in the air for race number 14. The top two side by side. Great launch. Get a whole car length plus over the 94 and 20, barreling off into turn number 1. The 8 has the advantage over Tyler Bowling and gets it clear. Top 3 single filed out. The 94 trying to squeeze out there.
Oh!
15, Bowling gives him room. Brandon Finley backs down, hits the wall. Here comes Nick Kaufman in car number 95. Fruit Loops going to the inside.
And we all know that Nick Kaufman is going to be very, very aggressive. I just don't know if this is the track to be so aggressive. They nearly make contact, that being him and Brandon Finley there in that number 94 machine. But Kaufman will slide into the 3rd place. And now everybody starts to single file out. And Jeremy, we're going to start to see, and there goes that number, the 20 machine. Nate Lesko just barely brushes the wall in the corner. It looks like there's going to be no damage to that race machine, I believe. But with that being said, like I was going to say, this race is now going to start to get strung out. Once you get about 10 laps into this race, you're going to start to see that tire fall off a significant amount. We're already single file, but in about 10 laps, you're going to start to see a lot of passing.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of attempts, some good, some bad. They're going to see guys throw it down below the hashed white line and try to do a little dive bomb slide job type situation. You're going to see some guys just give up the position, and then you're going to see the hard chargers just trying to fight every which way possible to keep hold of their spot. Because if you're pretty equal, Jason, on lap times here, it is so much more difficult to pass compared to most other tracks just because the track is only 2.5 car widths wide, I would imagine. No more than that. And if you try to squeeze 3 wide, well, good luck. Someone's hitting the wall, guaranteed, or your money back. But that 8 car launched off to a huge lead early on.
Yeah, and this is by far, a lot of the guys with the next gen car always say, "Oh, the short tracks are the hardest to pass." Dirty air makes it so hard to pass. Yes, dirty air is obviously a factor here, but because of how unique this racetrack is, and because of the shape of it and the way the corners are and stuff like that, this racetrack is obviously, in my opinion, the hardest place to pass. I mean, you got this racetrack that's practically only 2 lanes wide. And you are just on that razor's edge like you're going to be all night long up at the top of the wall. And then in 1 and 2, by far the sketchiest but most fun part of the racetrack, in my opinion. It's going to be tight for sure. And you're going to have to, well, we got one spinner in the back. That's Dana Ryan. No, that's Chris Cash going around. I believe he made slight contact with the inside wall, and he came to a stop there off turn 4. But that is not going to be a caution. iRacing deems it that it is not safety car worthy. You see right here, Chris Cash just loses it right there. Jeremy gets back to the throttle. I think a little too much, crosses over those seams, and unfortunately the car just gets loose on him, but he does make some left front contact, so that's going to be heavy damage for him. So it looks like Chris Cash, early problems, as well as Dylan Ellis.
Yeah, decent amount of damage for sure for the car number 69. And last week they kind of opened the door a little bit for race control, Steve Rada, to throw a manual caution if there's 2 or more involved and it is worthy of a caution. I know iRacing sometimes. Oh, the number 2, Brandon Kelly, just smashed the outside wall. P number 9 gets really tight. But I was saying that
we got another spinner in the back.
More. Yeah, more in the back. It's going to be the same situation. This time it's going to be Dana Ryan. He does not hit the wall, though, so turn 4. Not playing well into these drivers. Couple cars really loose and a couple cars that are just got awfully tight early on.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That turn 4 is going to be really, really tricky. How many times we've seen drivers just lose it through the center and off turn 4 because they try to get back to the gas too early. That right front just kind of slips up, gets on them seams, and just gets really, really loose. And it's so hard to save these cars with that rack and pinion steering that we've known now the last 4 years. So this is a really tough place to save a race car. You got to be real careful. This car is very, very twitchy, especially with that steering, with the rack and pinion. So you got to be mindful of that here tonight. But Jeremy, back to what I was saying before, we just had those multitude of incidents beforehand. This is the hardest track to pass at. You're really going to have to strategize making a pass on somebody here tonight, because you're not going to do it going into the corner. It's all going to be about drive off. The sketchiest place to pass by far here is on the exit of turn 2, because you'll look into turn 1, you get down there, you have to dive down, nearly dip them left sides on the apron that you kind of, to a normal fan, you don't really know where the apron is. I mean, this track kind of looks like you can run all the way down to the bottom. There's no distinct pattern, no lines, nothing. I mean, there are the dotted lines, the hash marks, but drivers run down there all the time on new tires in 3 and 4, 1 and 2. It doesn't matter. This is by far the trickiest place for guys to really get a grasp on. So passing is going to be an absolute premium here tonight. And if we do get those late race yellows, I think that track position and tires are going to mean a lot.
Tires will absolutely mean a lot. The fall off here, the guys who jump out early and make a bold move to the front and try to hang up there for 15, 20 laps, you're going to see the reverse effect, kind of like Dover, where they just slide back, further, which I expect Braxton DeWeese and car number 8 to do that probably in the next, 5-10 laps here. As we got a new section, Mr. Jason, is going to be driver versus driver. You did not see this. This was implemented literally just Tuesday, 2 nights ago. And it's got a bunch of stats. It's got your last 5 laps posted on the bottom. And on the right-hand side under Tyler Bowling in this case, you can see the plus and minuses between the guy that's in front of him, which is Braxton DeWeese. And you'll see right there, losing 0.125 tenths of a second per lap. And so eventually it'll calculate and it'll also tell you about the rough average of when he's going to get there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting graphic, obviously. A lot of even TV productions companies don't really use stuff like this. I mean, they do, but only to a certain extent. I mean, the fact that we have that real live timing and scoring through SDK and other stuff as well. I mean, Dustin does obviously a fantastic job. He's always looking for something to add here to the Nerd TV broadcast. That's why we are the best in the business, hands down, because, we care just like we care right there about Brandon Finley. nearly losing it off turn number 2. That car nearly snapped to the inside. And that's another tricky point of the racetrack. Usually you see a lot of guys make contact there off turn 2 and spin down to the inside wall. We've seen a lot of hard wrecks here. And that could have been one right there with just a single car spin. And that's all because of that little hump that's over there off turn number 2. It gets real sketchy. Kind of feels like a Richmond right there. You just kind of swing out to the wall, but it gets really awkward from behind the driver's seat. I want to see real quick if we can take a lap here with our leader, Braxton DeWeese, on an onboard just to see what it's like here coming down into turns 1 and 2 and around the whole track. So obviously right up against the wall, start-finish line, into 1. You're going to lift out of the throttle right here, almost get down to those hash marks, but he's going to elect to go a little bit higher and then just kind of baby the throttle through the corner, get down to the line, and then get full throttle right there off turn 2, down the back straightaway. And this is where things are going to get really sketchy as well. Down into 4th gear, let the car kind of travel, but you don't want to slide that right front either. That's how the car builds tight on the long run. He'll stay right down below there on the hash marks, and that's a really fast lap at Darlington. I think Braxton DeWeestrom is going to be one of those guys to beat here tonight, big time.
Yeah, he's definitely showing some muscle. Second and a half out there over the second place car, Tyler Bowling, who is stretched out a little bit lead over Nick Kaufman. So the field's just really spacing itself out here. 17 laps out of the 184 laps here this evening. And we're going to do this a little bit earlier than normal. Let's go turn up the tunes powered by the Button Kicker. We're going to listen to these cars go around this Darlington Raceway here for a few laps. Enjoy it. We'll be back shortly. And back full screen here. That was the Turn Up the Twos presented by the Butt Kicker. Thank you for that segment there. And we're on lap 27 out of 50 for stage number 1. So just past the halfway mark in stage 1 here. Christopher Cash having a moment there. It's about the same exact thing that happened to him off of turn 4 about 10 to 15 laps prior. And he's going to not only pull down pit road, he's going to park it. League admin Chris Cash going to say, nah, fam, this track, I cannot tame it. Darlington's going to tame me. I'm going to pull down before stage 2, and he's going to watch these drivers now go around this track as his admin duties.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him, and we've seen him have an incident twice here tonight, but, you know, it's tough. Obviously, this is not everybody's favorite track in the world. You either love it or hate it, but look at on back behind the race leader. We got a lot of shuffling going on behind them. Tyler Bowling just got around the number 1 of Dana Ryan. Here comes Nick Coffin to the inside of him as well. But shout out Braxton DeWeese, man. He didn't post a fast lap last time around, but he has been able to maintain that second and quarter, second and a half gap to Tyler Bowling. And mind you, remember we talked about Tyler Ware? I'm thinking of, oh my gosh, Tyler Bowling. 30 laps in. I know I mentioned 10 laps, but 30 laps in, just to give a retrospect. Best lap of the race so far was turned by your race leader, and that man in the number 8 machine, 29.259. Last time around, 30.405 in just 30 laps. We have fallen over a second and a quarter so far, pretty much. So it just goes to show you, Jeremy, the more laps we put on these tires, the more they're going to wear, even though I know these guys know there's going to be a competition caution at the end of the stage here in the next 20 laps. They're still going to be saving a little bit of tire because it's just so hard, and these tires just shred, and this track to these tires is like a cheese grater.
Yep, big cheese graters out here, known as Darlington Raceway, and I'm actually surprised. You talk about cheese graters and how the cars are just, the 15 just bounced off the wall. The race leader Braxton DeWeese did as well, so the top 2 both just slamming the wall there off turn 3. But the 8 car's not lost that gap. He's still 1.3 seconds. He's been there within a tenth of that time for 10 laps. And so he's just hanging on strong, even in the mid to long run of this part. So the 8 is, he's got things dialed in. Braxton DeWeese is looking to pick up a W here this evening. Austin Wheeler, the 48, last week's winner at Talladega, not here at the venue tonight. So no repeat winner situation happening here. Looking on board a couple other drivers here. There's Nate Lesko in car number 20, and then Dana Ryan there in car number 1. They're kind of just cycling through the field here a little bit here as they're kind of just cruising along to the end of the stage.
Yeah, and with just under 20 laps to go, you know, the field is spread out. Let's take a look here at your track map. There you go. Dustin immediately knew what I wanted. Just to show you 33 laps at Darlington. The field's pretty spread out. I mean, you got some guys obviously sprinkled in 1 and 2, but everybody's pretty much all down front straightaway and then 3 and 4 in just 34 laps. But it's all been Braxton DeWeese. He again keeps flirting with that second and a quarter, second and a half gap between him and Bowling. Coffin's kind of maintained, hasn't really made up any ground. Biggest mover of the race so far here tonight, though, is Eddie Baker in that 84 machine. You think about last week, Jeremy, I went back right before the top of the show and went back and looked at that finish. Man, you got to feel for Eddie Baker. He seems to always be there at the end of these races, and he just, something always seems to happen to the driver of the 84 machine. You know, he's just been so close time and time again and just hasn't really been able to do anything, you know, this season. It's been definitely tough, I feel like, for Mr. Baker. By far should have a win because, you know, he has the stats to show it. Despite only being in 11th in points, he's made all the starts this season, but to be passed heading to the tri-oval in the final lap, Austin Wheeler timed it perfectly. You got to feel for the guy in the 84.
Yeah, no, I agree with that statement there. And as you see him all by his lonesome here, one of many drivers to just kind of be floating around this track. We went over the track map presented by Racing Eye Flag. Let's go over some of the, well, no, let's not. We're going to wait for stage before I break out that section there. And Let's see where the Ford, Chevy, and Toyotas are running, I would say, at the moment here. Not too many movers. There's been a couple of decent ones, but let's go over just some random... Ooh, big slam to the outside wall goes car number 9. My gosh, that's going to tear down that right front fender. That's Bill Hagan. But here's Braxton DeWeese, P1 there in the Ford, Nick Koff in 3, and then you got Blake Treywick in 6, Al Like in 7, Jeremiah Nelson in 8th, and 12th. Yeah, they're Jason. They are pounding down the wall here.
I was just about to say. I was just about to say Braxton DeWeese slapped the wall off turn number 4, and Tyler Bowling didn't just hit it once; he hit it twice coming off turn 4. Really, really good. Want to see if we can maybe get a replay on that here on the Nerd TV Rewind, because just almost about a lap ago here as they come off turn 4, you're going to watch this 15 machine. He's going to slap the wall not once, but twice right here. Coming off turn 4, you'll watch the 8 machine. He just scrapes it in front of him. Watch the 15 Tyler Bowling. He gets real loose. Bam, bam. He hits it about 2 times right there. And, man, I don't know if he's going to have any internal damage. You don't want to get into the wall too much here with Darlington because it can really stretch. But right now, Jeremy, he's seemingly starting to kind of gain on Tyler Bowling. He may have kind of pulled back the reins for those first, 40 laps or so, because right now with 11 to go this time by at the line in stage 1, he has gained about a half a second on Mr. Braxton DeWeese.
Yeah, I mean, when they keep pounding the wall, we're gonna change some times up. I know the 8 destroyed the wall really hard, and there's the driver for driver. The past 5 laps, green, 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 and green. So 0.6 is the gap now. 0.74 was the last recorded time at the start-finish line on lap 39. Lap 40 coming up here, and right now they're hanging out at 0.6. That's another 10th plus. At this pace, you can see catching in 6 laps, and there is 10 laps left in this stage, so there is a chance we can get our first lead change of this evening.
Yeah, I absolutely love this graphic. This might be the coolest graphic we've ever had here on Nerd TV, and we've had a lot of cool graphics thanks to Dustin and everybody obviously involved. But the fact that now, we can see what the estimate... Oh, we got one around in front of the leader. That would be, I believe, the 35 machine, possibly. It might... I don't know who that was, honestly. It was the Tide machine. I believe it was not the 35. It was whoever was the Tide machine. And we're going to go back and find out. But that was right in front of the leaders. And that was the number 2 machine. Or is that the number 2? It's the number 2 machine. 22. That's Brandon Kelly right there. Even though it's supposed to be the 20. But it says number 2 on the door. And he just got doored into 1 and 2. But then off 3 and 4, he just got wicked sideways. Slapped the wall a couple times. Spun it. Or rather half spun. Saved it. And then just spun out fully practically. But no yellow. Jeremy, it's making me nervous if I'm Braxton DeWeese up there in the race lead for the time being, because you think about it, back the first race back for NASCAR during the COVID era in May, Jimmy Johnson was leading late in the going at Darlington, got into it with Chris Buescher, and he ended up spinning and wrecking himself, and Kevin Harvick went on to win the first race back, and Tyler Bowling is caught up in lap traffic. That dirty air is affecting him. He's wearing those tires. He just brushed the wall off too down the back straightaway a moment ago, and Tyler Bowling has reeled him in.
He's here. 6 to go in that stat. Based
he hit
on
the wall.
Yeah, I think that's about the 10th time this 8-car Braxton DeWeese has just, And there goes Tyler. It is a battle of who can hit the wall the most here between the race leaders. I didn't think we'd have this type of competition out here. There is the stripe, the Darlington stripe, right? But now there's just Pancake City in South Carolina.
Might as well go to IHOP.
These cars will be going to IHOP because they're going to be on 3 wheels when this thing's all said and done. 15 going for the pass, and more slams.
Oh boy, this is reminding me big time of back when it was Martin Truex Jr. versus Ross Chastain. They make a little bit of contact there off turn 4 down the straightaway. DeWeese going to side draft him into 1. He's going to lift out of the gas, let the 15 go swing wide all the way to the wall. Doesn't hit it, but man, oh man, we've seen so many great battles here at Darlington in real life over the years, and we're having a great one here for the end of stage 1. And while these two battle door to door, now single file, it has kind of reeled in Nick Kaufman, who was 2 seconds back. Now make him 9/10 back. Oh, and by the way, your point leader, Mr. Nate Lesko, he is right there in the mix as well with 4 laps to go in the stage.
As we pancakes. We have pancakes. We don't have beef here as we continue to ride now with first and third. Nick Kaufman. He's close getting in on the 8 car. But I don't know if he's got enough time. He's going to have to wheel that thing a lot if he's want to get there. Nate Lesko, he's brought himself into the picture. All of a sudden, we got a little fun battle here right before stage.
Yeah, and this is for points, obviously. I don't think that Nick Kaufman wants to give up these points to Nate Lesko, knowing that he is the point leader. Nate is obviously going to extend his point lead here tonight with it only being 17 cars on the track, and not having Austin Wheeler in the field is definitely going to help Nate Lesko, so he's just on practically a Sunday drive. But if you're Nick Kaufman, if you're Braxton DeWeese, Tyler Bowling, you do not want Nate Lesko to gain more points on this field. But look at how strong this car is in the long run. Pulls right to the outside. Oh, and Kaufman slams the door on him big time. If I'm Nate Lesko, I am not happy with the 95 for slamming the door like that on me off turn 4. And here comes Lesko again, though. Kind of gets back to the throttle. A little bit better than the 95 off 2. Lap and a half to go, and Tyler Bowen saying sayonara. He's looking to take home a stage win.
If you're going to slam the door on somebody, it better be your teammate, and this is what they're doing at IW. And he's going to go Kyle Larsoning this thing to the outside, tries it. Too much wall glue, not enough speed. 1 lap to go for stage here. This battle is fantastic right now, but it's not going to be enough for anyone to catch. Now Tyler Bowling, half a lap left for car number 15 before he gets stage 1. Oh, and Nick Kaufman.
What a save!
Nick knows how to mess it up late into the run. And here he goes. He gives up the spot there to Nate Lesko, P3. But Tyler Bowling going to win stage number 1. No pressure, 1.3 seconds back. And there you go.
Wow, what a first stage, Jeremy. Amazing battles there, those last 12 laps. And Tyler Bowling, man, even with the lead, he was slamming the outside wall big time there. And Nick Kaufman, shout out to him. That might be save of the race possibly early on. I would much rather, if I were him, give up that 1 stage point rather than destroy a race car trying to chase it up the track. Heads up driving by him, but heads up driving all 4 of these guys. They put on one hell of a battle for us here in the booth, and obviously for everybody watching at home. I'm excited to see what these remaining laps are going to hold for us here tonight.
100% there. We're going to go picture-in-picture mode real quick. Let these guys come down pit road. We'll thank a couple sponsors, and then we'll kick it back and talk to your stage winner 15, Tyler Bowling, coming up.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, is so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with...
And back to full screen here. Drivers have come down pit road, serviced their vehicles. We got a quick moment to talk to our number 15, Tyler Bowling from IWP. Tyler Bowling, this is Jeremy and Jason in the booth. I know you got a quick one-lapper here, but stage 1 winner, man. How'd you get it done? That car was fast, but you guys pounded down the wall a lot there.
Yeah, I was lucky I didn't get wheel damage or anything. Definitely the lap cars definitely helped me catch up to Braxton there. I don't know what it would look like without them being there, so I got some help from that. But yeah, just the rest of the stage here, just try to keep it clean and not make any mistakes, and hopefully be there at the end.
Stand for on that, Jason. What you got for him?
Tyler, I know we talk a lot about tires at this racetrack. It seems like tires and lap cars are going to make a huge impact on this race. What do you think it's going to be, tires or the lap traffic?
Probably a little bit of both, but definitely leaning more towards tires, especially towards the end of the run. But yeah, whoever can navigate lap traffic will be key as well.
All right, man. Good luck to you. We'll pull you down.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. Talked to him right before the green flag. Appreciate your time. Tyler Bowling, stage 1 winner. Green flag is out for stage number 2. And we already saw the lap traffic playing some type of factor. So that was a great question to ask there, Jason. And we're going to see how the long run plays here. 130 laps to go in tonight's race for race number 14 of the season.
And Tyler Bowling did not get a good restart right there. He went from second back to third behind Kaufman, and Braxton DeWeese shot out of a cannon, and DeWeese ended up beating him out of pit road there right to the commitment line, and Tyler Bowling just couldn't get the power down, being the last guy on pit road and being in that last stall. A little bit slippery here at Darlington. Some racetracks are like that out of the box, and for him, that's exactly how it was. Now DeWeese has that 4/10 of a second gap on Nick Kaufman. Tyler Bowling back by almost a second now by 0.97. He's going to have Brandon Felling. And how about Al Likens right there in that 6 machine in the Modelo car? He's up to the top 5 and 5th. Heartbreaker for him a handful of weeks ago at Richmond. Looked for his first win of the year. Couldn't do it on old tires, but now he's up inside the top 5, doing a great job tonight.
Jason, I'd be Likens his opportunity here this evening. Running P5 right now. Strong performance from car number 6. Thank you, Dustin, for that AO in the background. I know you guys may not hear it. I got my one dad joke into the day. I might have 2 because we got 100 and plus laps to go, but in the little wall there, you're going to see a ton more of that. We saw the race leaders do it. At what point do these cars just fall apart?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, obviously, oh, that's really tight right there. Nate Lesko, you see he's got all that right front damage. And Jeremy, that was going to be a perfect opportunity to pinpoint what you just said. And that's the thing, you got to be mindful. These cars, you can only do so much with your repair time on pit road. I can only imagine what kind of repairs these guys were putting on their race cars, possibly, with a lot of them being on the lead lap. And there's the bonk sound, because they're going to hear that a lot tonight. If hitting the wall with these right sides made a sound effect, it would be bonk, not crush, not smash. It would be bonk, because it's exactly how it's been here tonight. But Jeremy, you got to be so mindful of these cars. Granted, they are not sheet metal. They are composite bodies. Remember, at the start of the 2022 season, when they had the next-gen car, they announced they would be going to composite bodies. No more sheet metal. They don't crush up as much. They don't flare out. They're kind of just really stiff bodies. So you got to be really careful with them. You don't want to slam the wall too hard, because it's more or less the internal components of the race car that are going to get damaged. You don't want to bend a toe link. You don't want to break one, screw up your steering ratio for that rack and pinion or nothing like that. These things can really take a beating, but you don't want to do it too much, because obviously that's when oopsie daisies and breaks can happen with these cars.
Yeah, 1,000%. I'm really surprised Braxton and Tyler both still have those connected. You would think at this point that it would be just completely disconnected and possibly shredded off these things, but they continue to run fast, 1st and 3rd place. And while these guys have filed out a little bit here, let's go over our biggest movers of the race so far, presented by our Shirtitudes, which you can find at nerditudes.gg. Click on the Nerd Swag icon, and you can pick up one of your amazing nerdy t-shirts that we have available there, or our customized team jerseys. or a embroidered hat with the Nerdy Twos logo. If you want to support us, feel free at nerdytwos.gg. But the biggest movers right there, Bill Hagen up 7 spots, up in P11. Eddie Baker up 6 in 9th place. Al Likens, we just talked about him momentarily. He's up 4 in 5th. Nick Kaufman, up 3 to be in 2nd place. And then Christian Marcelli is your final top 5 on the biggest movers. They're up 3 spots himself.
Yeah, obviously there is a lot of guys up here in this entire field that have made some headway. You look at obviously drivers like Al Likens. I cannot stress enough how impressive this 6 car continues to be on a week-to-week basis. I mean, Al went from being somebody at the beginning of the season, from what I remember, that was not really always there up at the front, and now it seems like week in and week out he's competing for top 5s, top 10s. I mean, he competed for a win not only a handful of weeks ago at Richmond, but he has a shot possibly tonight if he could just keep it together. I feel like, Jeremy, this very well could be a race like Richmond where we see one guy dominate. We got one yellow because this track's just so hard to drive late in the going, and then all hell breaks loose. We got a late race restart crash. Because remember, through all that, who came out on the better end of it after that late race caution at Richmond? It was Al Likens, and then Braxton DeWeese was able to beat him at the line there on those newer tires. So for Al Likens, this is an opportunity to possibly capitalize here tonight. If you could just keep this car in one piece, you know that those top 4 guys, they're just beating the hell out of their race cars right now, slapping the wall, tank slapping it, beating and banging with one another. If you could just keep it together tonight, I think Al Likens has a legitimate shot for not only just a win, but definitely a podium.
Yeah, absolutely. Very true there. And I've been seeing a lot cleaner runs from these guys so far. You've noticed, too, a lot of them are not going right up to the outside wall. Of course, they still got a little bit of tire left, and especially Braxton DeWeese, he's been running this thing low on the track. He runs about as high as he can right there. It's a lot easier in 1 and 2 because it's a lot faster, a lot more sweeping. But 3 and 4, he's actually been driving the car down on the bottom half of the track. He's been holding a decent pace. In their 2nd place there, Nick Kaufman and car 95s will go back to driver versus driver. You see the bottom lane being used by both leader and 2nd place. 3rd on back slides up a little bit more to try to find that speed. But when you got a lot of speed in your car, don't risk it up there on that outside wall and take care of it. And that's exactly what the 8 and the 95 seem to be doing right now.
Yeah, and when they come back around here to turns 1 and 2, I want to see if Dustin can give me a right front shot of this number 8 car, because I want to point out something that is a huge talking point at Darlington that I don't feel like it's talked enough about here. So as we head down the front straightaway, Dustin, let me see that right front camera right here on this number 8 machine if we can, because right here, you're going to watch going down into the corner. You see all those marbles up here. Now here he goes, diamonds it down into the corner. Now watch as he gets out higher right here. You see all those marbles up at the top of the racetrack. As these tires continue to wear, there's going to be more and more rubber buildup on the racetrack, more fall off. There's going to be more speckles of rubber up the top of the racetrack. And now as these tires wear, especially that right front through 1 and 2, because you're sliding the car so much, wide and out there to the wall, you're going to see a lot of those guys slap the wall. We saw that at the end of stage 1. It's going to happen here in this run too. So you got to be mindful. You don't want to overdrive the car on these worn tires, because once you get up there, you can tank slap the wall just like the 8 did right there.
Yeah, 100% there. They're starting to wear down a little bit. The tires are starting to yell at these drivers as we're on lap 69. Very nice lap out of 184 total here this evening. The clouds are starting to set over the track a little bit more. It's a lot darker out here as we go on board the spoiler cam, which is very popular at Homestead and Darlington alike, right up against the outside wall. Very easy to do in comparison to 3 and 4 when you're doing it on the tops of 1 and 2. As we get to 3 and 4, though, it's going to go right back to the bottom until that car, he's going to go up top this time. That means the car's getting a little tighter. He's going to look for a little extra grip. There's more rubber up there, so it helps the car handling some. But as we all know in iRacing, more speed equals more tire wear, and so that's why they waited till they have to do it to go to the top.
Yeah, and being at the top of the racetrack here is such a premium. You get the biggest runs in 3 and 4 off the top lane, and 1 and 2, you can run the top. You have to through the center, but on the corner exit, you want to make sure you're diamonding back down to the bottom and swinging back out to the wall in the straightaways here. But as these tires wear, that right front going into turns 1 and 2, you're going to start to see a lot more guys slapping that wall on corner entry. Once they get through turns 1 and 2, or rather through turn 1 down to the middle and hitting that wall through the center, because they're just sliding. You see them kind of going up towards the wall right there. And then 3 and 4, it's going to be a lot more difficult because they try to get down into the corner, get on the brakes, and try to get the car to go out to the outside wall, but there's just no grip. You're running off the right rear and the right front and all ends of the racetrack, that the right side is just completely gone. You're going to see a lot more guys slapping the wall off the corner. And this is about the point, Jeremy, in the race where, remember, in stage 1, we saw Braxton DeWeese and the guy who was in second, which was Tyler Bowling at the time. The gap was maintained. And Nick Kaufman has kind of maintained that half a second to about 3/4 of a second gap. But as we get down into it, about 40 laps into the run, you're going to start to see, I think, this 8 car is going to really start to struggle. We had our race admin, Steve, obviously part of Nerd Suits. He said that, Braxton DeWeese was not happy over the radio. I know, Jeremy, you said the same thing because of the lap cars. And it definitely plays a big factor here, with the dirty air and stuff. But if you're that 8 of Braxton DeWeese, you're going to have to be patient with the lap cars. Get around them methodically, but you're going to have to be patient. And I think he's going to have to save those tires as well.
Patience can come easy when you have a drink of Brez Coffee Co. Staying alert and responsive is key to any situation, and Brez Coffee Co. delivers with amazing flavors to cater to all the coffeeholics out there. Brez Coffee Co. brings all the flavors you crave at an amazing price. Home of the official Nerditudes flavor, sugary sweet joysticks. So if you want to try that, mix it with some apple creamer or some vanilla creamer. Fantastic flavor. You can find that at brezcoffeeco.com. Search the word nerd, put ours in the shopping cart, and use the promotion code SUPERNERD. That'll save you 10% off your purchase there at brezcoffeeco.com. And we are on lap 76 of the scheduled 184 laps to go. Stage number 2, about a quarter of the way in, 109 laps to go here this evening.
And I tell you what, Jeremy, when these guys come down for their green flag pit stop here in a handful of laps, they're going to probably ask for a cup of Brez Coffee Co. there in the pits, because they're going to need it to wake up and realize how tough this racetrack is, because this track will definitely catch you sleeping right here, like it did for the number 22 of Brandon Kelly. Ends up spinning yet again, but ends up locking it up. And he kind of fully spun almost. Backs into the wall right there. I think that might be it for his night. I think he is now off the racetrack entirely. So we got 11 cars. Or no, maybe I think he's still running. But turn 4 has been a huge troublesome spot for a lot of drivers tonight. They'll slide to the corner, try to diamond it back down, and then when they're doing that, that right rear just doesn't want to grip up. They spin the tires from getting back to the gas too early and crossing over them seams. We've seen it a ton here tonight. I'm sure that is not the last time, Jeremy, that we're going to see that happen here tonight. But guess what? First round of pit stops happening. Eddie Baker wants to be the first one to do the short pit. He'll come down pit road from about the 9th position, come down, head for 4 tires, maybe a cup of Brez Coffee Co.
This is early. Remember, they just ran 50 laps in stage 1. And this is, what? We're on lap 77. We're 27 laps-ish. 26 laps into this run, and that's an early pit stop, so we're going to run a different strategy compared to everybody else. Is Eddie Baker in car number 84. And to answer your questions, yes, the 22 Brandon Kelly did pull off. He is out of tonight's race. Christopher Tate, he is out of tonight's race. Dana Ryan has parked it, and of course Christopher Cash we saw on screen. So 4 drivers out of this race. 12 entries remain here as we're completing lap number 79 onwards to lap 80. And I wonder if anybody else is going to do that short stop. I feel like that was extra short. And, well, actually, he's still on pit road, so maybe just a little bit more going on with Eddie Baker than what we maybe have thought.
Yeah, he might have just a ton of damage he wants to fix. But, I mean, based on the looks of it, I know that iRacing has this tendency where it kind of buffs out your damage whenever you do have it. But I don't know if he had some damage or whatnot. Maybe he had to pit. Maybe possibly an emergency, obviously. I mean, hopefully all is okay with him. I know that sometimes does happen. I've had to do that myself, where you're in the middle of a race and you're racing and all of a sudden something happens in the real world and you kind of just got to stop for a minute. So hopefully all is good with him, because I don't recall him ever having damage. I don't, remember anything, but he looks to still be in the pits, so we'll keep an eye on that for the time being. But Braxton DeWeese still out front of Nick Kaufman by over a second now. Kaufman's starting to fade a little bit, and Tyler Bowling is starting to set those laps that are a little bit faster now than Kaufman and also Braxton DeWeese up front. So I fully expect Tyler Bowling to probably get around the 95 here.
Let's go driver versus driver again here. We're going to keep this up because it is very popular with us. And with all the single file racing, you can really just kind of hone in on the stats of your two closest competitors. And some of the closest competition's been further back, but the race for second and third has been great so far here in stage 2. As you get some of their closest battles right there. Speaking of which, your top 3 of those is Likens versus Let's Go. L versus L there. The gap's only 0.3. That's for position number 5. Nick Kaufman of Bowling. Of course, we're covering that right now. 0.4 is the gap there. And then, well, Let's Go versus Nelson as well. So I guess the graphic's going to show a couple different battles, even if it includes the same driver. So that is not a... or that is a feature, I should say. So Let's Go versus Nelson is also 0.4. So just showing the gap there, and we're highlighting Let's Go there. Is I guess the 3 closest cars on track are right here on your screen.
Yeah, and it's obviously, you know, this is how this race gets. A little bit strung out. You're going to see some guys who are really close together, some guys who are really far apart. Let's take a look here again at the track map. So far, from lap 55, I believe we went back green to lap 85. You see, it's almost pretty much the same exact thing to what we saw, Jeremy, towards the end of that stage. You know, granted, we have a significant amount of laps before we head up to lap 100. This time by, it'll be 15 laps to go. Nothing has really changed up at the front, obviously. You know, Braxton DeWeese still that leader. He is continuing to pull away from Nick Kaufman a little bit. The gap is now nearly a second and a half, while Tyler Bowling continues to reel him in slowly but surely. I do believe at some point that Tyler Bowling is going to get to him. Let's see. Let's take a look at it here. We got this graphic. Oh no, and Bowling's up and into the wall. We talked about getting up into those marbles, and that's exactly what happened right there. Let's take a look at this new graphic real quick. I want to see how quickly Tyler Bowling is going to get to Nick Kaufman, possibly, if we can get this graphic here up. And it looks like he's going to catch him in about 19, 18 laps. But again, that obviously varies based on driver mistakes and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I mean, Nick Kaufman's been doing a hell of a job so far. We have another taker on pit road here this time by. Last week's runner-up, Blake Trawick, will bring the number 56 Moo Machine down to pit road. But it looks like he's got some right front damage. He very well may have killed the wall. It looks...
Yeah,
I think he killed it. Oh, my God. Yeah, he really killed it. Holy cow. Literally. No pun intended.
Holy cow, yeah. Pit entrance. We're going to take it back here. I think we got a replay ready to view. Here you go. This is a wild one at Darlington. Not too many times you see this happen. We're going to come down pit road. We're going to loopsy daisies, and we are going to not only find the wall.
Nope.
We are going to...
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, just utterly ridiculous how...
You are not funny. Not funny, dude. You are not effing funny, bro. You think you're funny and you're not. You are not funny, my guy.
So funny.
That's your second dad joke of the night. How do you feel? I thought Holy Cow was going to get a laugh out of Dustin, but you had to say utterly bad.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys. You're welcome.
Yeah,
For all 20 of y'all watching, that one's for you all, and Jason especially.
Breaking news. Jeremy Stanley, fired in the Nerd TV booth. Welcome in Dustin Logston here to the Nerd TV booth, bro. Glad to have you here.
No, I'm just kidding. No. I was going to make a rock reference, but that would be too much. But
rock reference?
The rock... no. We've come back to Darlington.
Well, I mean, I am
Rockefeller.
I'm Rockefeller. I mean, it would fit me better than Dustin.
Okay. That's, you went on that one. Absolutely. Hands down there. So Blake Trawick, now your 6th entry out of the race. I forgot to mention that Dylan Ellis, car number 99, also out as well. So 6 DNFs out of the 17 entries. I said 18 at the top of the race, but Dustin Logston joined in as a driver. So there's that. P18 goes our producer in tonight's race. So there's that graphic there.
Yeah.
He's
Double
the
duty.
1,000 hats +2 tonight. You know, he's got to be a driver too, I guess.
Yeah.
Wrong number, Dustin, by the way. He's car number 81 everywhere, but he loves these Gen 7 so much that he hasn't even updated his number behind the scenes for that just in case moment.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a race coming up in one, so, you know, there's that.
I'll fill in for him if he needs it. All he's got to do is pay for my subscription. I'll get that Fanatec V3 pedals out and that Thrustmaster TMX Pro, the wheels that everybody's like, why are you using them dinosaurs? I'm ready to go. I'll rip in the next gen for him. Hell, I'll win the thing.
Jason Rockefeller, 2024, races one race the whole year, I do believe, and he wins it at Talladega during our broadcast event. He said, I want to race this race. I don't want to call the race. I want to race it. And we said, okay. And then he wins it. So, you know, shout out to you. You could probably do it, right?
I don't know, man. I'm like
too.
Casey Kane. I'm like Casey Kane. Casey Kane finally won his first World of Outlaws race the other day after so many tries. Congratulations to old Casey Kane. By the way, tomorrow, Casey Kane Friday, baby. Love Casey Kane. Shout out Casey Kane. He's the GOAT. Should have won a championship multiple times. He's the GOAT.
Casey Kane Friday.
Yeah. You know, Casey Kane Friday, you know, you play Limp Bizkit, you know, rolling, you know, air raid vehicle. Come on, man. You don't know Casey Kane Friday memes?
Nope.
Man, you are old.
I guess I'm not in that corner of the internet apparently.
I'm gonna send you all that Casey Kane Friday meme after this race.
Please do. Educate me.
Whoa,
Here
Nick
comes
Kaufman.
Nick Kaufman, pit road, lap 90. That's just under 40 laps into this green flag run. And car number 95 on pit road. So he's going to try the first short pit attempts of the top runners here this evening. Only driver down on pit road. And I saw Braxton Deweese's microphone pop up. Let's see if he makes a shot down pit road as well. And no. So it's just going to be the 95 still. Let's see how this plays for Nick Kaufman.
Yeah, and he's going to obviously take 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles, some Brez Coffee Co., and some Sunoco Racing fuel. I love his pit crew, by the way. They're all in, like, they're ready for Memorial Day weekend. They're ready to hop in the pool. You know, they got their gear on, shirtless, ready to go. Dustin's trying to go back and look at him, but the drone just wouldn't do it. And one thing to note about pit road here, Jeremy, in all seriousness, this is, you know, we always say this, I feel like, on, no! What is happening here? Points leader! This is a huge, oh my God, implications, Rick Allen would say. Holy cow!
Did I not say wild card race and then I mentioned Nate Lesko right after that? Well,
had to destroy the barrels. Yep. Did the same thing.
He sure did. Driver number 2 to find it. And this time he's going to carry much more speed than Blake Traywick does.
No. Oh, dude, if I'm him, I don't know why he didn't just turn right at that point. He was so committed to pit road. He just didn't turn right. That's
Kyle
such a
Larson
shame.
at Homestead.
Jeremy, I was just going to say, too, and I know we say it every week about, this just track hard to get on pit road, but this track in particular has caused so many issues for drivers on pit road because look at it. You look here at the number 8 of Braxton Deweese. I don't know if he's going to be pitting this time. I don't think he is. No, he's not. Look at pit road is nowhere to be found. Pit road is nowhere to be found just from them camera angles, but it's all the way down to the bottom of the apron, so far down there. It's like practically 50 yards away from the top of the wall all the way to the bottom of the racetrack where the pit road entrance line is. And it's so crazy. You think back to earlier in the springtime for the Goodyear 400. You had Tyler Reddick get into Chris Buescher while trying to come to pit road. They make contact, but here we go. Perfect example. Here comes the 8 of Braxton Deweese. You got to slow it down big time into the corner. Get down onto pit road. He does a great job doing it. Locks up a little bit, but he'll get down to pit road speed in no time. Hardest pit road to get onto by far, and we have seen not one, not two, but multiple guys get into those barrels, I believe, here tonight, and it was your points leader, Nate Lesko. This is not what he needed, Jeremy. This is going to be 2 races in a row with a bad finish for the driver of the 20 here tonight, probably.
Here comes Tyler Bullingham. He's going to do it.
Oh, my goodness. No. Oh, I think he saves it. He did. He saved it. He might have got down to pit road speed.
Gosh, what is going on here? Pit road is so treacherous. I'm reviewing it right now personally, and yeah, he's down to speed. He's more than clear, so they're good there, but Just
How much you want to bet he comes out with the lead?
one little bunk, no damage, just a little paint scrape, but he's okay. All good, no penalty for the 15.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that was the safest spin out I've seen on pit road to date. But yeah, you're not wrong. This pit road, it almost looks like they didn't practice this, really.
Well, I mean, they really didn't. I mean, there were drivers who were coming home from work 20 minutes prior to qualifying, so I wouldn't expect some of these guys to have any laps because if there's one thing you should obviously do at Darlington besides getting those laps in on the racetrack, it's making sure that your pit entry is near to perfection because, again, this is the hardest pit road to get onto in all of NASCAR, I would probably say for sure. The fact that two of your top contenders have gotten down to pit road and had incidents is insane. And for Tyler Bowling, him locking it up might be what saves him the race.
Yeah, he lost a little bit of ground, but he also had a lot of ground over everybody else, for the most part, except for Braxton DeWeese, which, he had the cleanest pit stop yet. There's the 94, Brandon Finley on your screen, who's led the past 3 laps. He resumes as your race leader momentarily till he decides to come down pit road. So 94 going to be, I think, the 3rd car to be leading a lap technically here this evening. And there you are, your TwistedSpeedSetups.com lap leaders. Braxton DeWeese at 90, Tyler Bowling at 10, and Brandon Finley actually has 4 laps as your race leader underneath his belt here.
Yeah, so not really too many leaders, obviously. The only times we've seen, besides the top 2 guys who have been up there all night long, is really during the green flag pit stops. Because, again, this is the first time we've seen them all night long. And it's not going to be the last. I expect at least one more round of green flag pit stops because they have 4 extra sets of tires here tonight. This is going, oh, that was going to be tight. And Al Likens gets up into the wall right there, making a ballsy move to the outside of a lap car right there. I believe that was the 9 of Bill Hagan off turn number 2. And that could have been big trouble. And he does have some damage there on the right front. And this is the thing, though. This is what these green flag pit stops enable, Jeremy. We've seen it time and time again in real life, the virtual world. You're going to see a lot of guys trying to run it long because they just think that with everybody having all these issues, there's got to be a caution at some point, right? I mean, these guys right now up in the top 2, they've put everybody a lap down. And here comes Brandon Finley coming into the pits. And if Al Likens stays out, he very well might be the only guy on the lead lap right here at the end of this.
Brandon Finley with the safest pit entrance ever. Very cautious coming down pit road. Knows the issues everybody else has had. Nate Lesko, car number 20, out. DNF for him. So that's going to be 7 cars out of this race with too much damage or some type of issue sustained. And then, Eddie Baker did get back on track after his very lengthy pit stop. He's 8 laps down in the car 84. Just want to make a mention of that. Then he's still out there and kicking. Now we're looking at the newest race leader, your 4th one this evening, car number 6. Al Likens out here. Got a decent gap of 15 seconds over Brandon Finley. As you said, he's got to come down pit road at some point in time, right? But, here we go. Final pit stop underway.
Yeah, and he's going to head to pit road right here, and then it's also going to be Bill Hagan. Bill Hagan has to pit here shortly. He last pitted on lap 52. So then that would leave Nick Kaufman and Braxton DeWeese going to be your top 2. Because Kaufman pitted on lap 94 to short pit. Braxton DeWeese followed and tow at lap 99. Everybody else is at lap 100 plus. So this is going to be interesting. We're going to have guys on fresher tires than others. As of now, last time around, Kaufman ran practically the exact same lap time as Braxton DeWeese. And for Tyler Bowling, Tyler is running about a 10th or so better than these race leaders. But with 76 laps to go, Jeremy, this is going to be interesting to see who is going to play the long game and try to stretch their fuel laps, stretch their tires out, because we've all seen how much tires mean here, but also how tricky it's been to get to pit road. So do you want to risk running long, or do you want to try to short pit and be safe?
Well, this story right here on your screen will definitely kind of answer that. As we've seen the lap difference. Nick Kaufman, laps since last pit stop, 33. Braxton DeWeese, 9. So it's a difference of 24 laps between the two. And we're closing in. We're out half a second almost here. Continuing to close in. You see the gap just quickly shrinking. So, let's see. We got 74 laps to go when they get to the line. They both have to make one more pit stop. I think the long game is going to be in the favor of the 8 car based on this stat. If they both go to the end of the field run now, Braxton DeWeese, I think he's definitely going to have that lead and by a long margin.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, Braxton pitted a few laps later than Nick Kaufman, and right now he is going to catch him at about 4 laps, 3 probably at the line. He is over a tenth faster than Nick Kaufman, but we've seen how aggressive Nick Kaufman is, Jeremy. The question is going to be, how aggressive will he be? He knows he's got the tire deficit, but he knows that the race leader is going to be right behind him here once he gets right to him, because Braxton DeWeese has dominated this race. This is the first time we've seen Nick Kaufman out front all night long. I believe he is the 4th or 5th different leader here tonight. And there it is. Yeah, he is the 5th different leader this evening. And he's led 3 laps. He's about to lead 4. For the time being, half a second remains between Kaufman and DeWeese, and Tyler Bowling 4 seconds back. And man, oh man, I don't know if he's going to try to save tire or what, but he's got a lot of ground to make up.
Fun little shout out here on the YouTube side. I haven't really mentioned many comments because there hasn't been too many, but sorry if I butchered the name there, but Adil Khan Deshmukh says, some new techniques onto pit road, eating barrels, Tokyo drift, what else will we see? That's a range of techniques on pit road. I absolutely agree with them. There might be more to come. We never know. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I love how interesting these guys have made these chase races for us. Obviously, a lot of people do tend to fall out come the chase starts, but this Smoky Mountain Sim Racing League, hands down to them, for giving us a great product to perform on the racetrack and to show not only to the viewers at home, but for us up here in the booth. It's been such a great, honor and privilege to call their season here this year. We've seen a lot of great action. We've seen a lot of great races, no matter if it's 40 cars or 18 or 15 cars. I mean, you think back to Michigan a few weeks ago, it was great. Tonight, we had 18 cars. Well, if you don't count Dustin Longston, we got 17 cars in the field. It's been pretty awesome so far. We've had great battles all the way around. I cannot wait, Jeremy. I don't know about you, but I cannot wait to see how this season ends. I think it really will come down all the way to the wire, and especially with Nate Lesko. Last 2 weeks now, he's going to have a bad finish. For Lesko, he might have to step it up next week. If it weren't for him wrecking, he would be pulling out ahead in the points, obviously, after tonight. But with Austin Wheeler gone, it's going to make the wreck here tonight a little bit better for him. But if Austin Wheeler was here tonight, definitely would be a different story here tonight. Those were the points coming tonight. Obviously, Austin Wheeler, 31 points out. He did win 1 week ago, but he is not here tonight. Lesko was, but with Lesko's poor finish, I expect Lesko to only gain a handful of points probably over Austin Wheeler. But we'll see here heading into next week. Should be an interesting one. Only a handful of races to go, Jeremy, in this chase format.
I'm actually intrigued by the 95 Nick Kaufman right now, who the tire difference is 24 laps, but somehow he is managing this gap very well over Braxton right now, who's 3rd place in points. That's going to be your biggest mover tonight, Lesko, after tonight's race is over. I don't know if it's dirty air. I don't know if it's just tire heat and how the cars have just kind of flatlined on the long run, but you're not seeing the 24 lap difference like you think you would. I know these Gen 7 cars have a much more durable tire because of the low profileness, so they don't wear out as much. And I think that's playing to the benefit of the 95 of Mr. Kaufman, who continues to just actually grow his lead a little bit over the 8 car. They both had that 1 pit stop left, so maybe that short pit is playing, to the positive side here for the strategy of this race.
It could be, but also remember, Jeremy, earlier in the race when Braxton DeWeese was leading, he was caught up in lap traffic. He's got somebody in front of him, so he's got that dirty air. He did not like the dirty air. Granted, in front of him was a lap car. Now that he's got a lead lap car in front of him, who is the leader while he's running second, it's going to be a lot harder for him to try to gain. He's got that dirty air. We know how aero sensitive this car is here at Darlington. It can take a lot of beatings, a lot of bangings, but at the end of the day, dirty air still prevails for this car. You have to be careful, and there's not a lot of lanes to run. This is only a 1 to 1.5. I wouldn't even say 2. A lane and a half lane racetrack. It's going to be hard for him to get up there. Even though Nick Kaufman did short pit, Braxton has the fresher tires. I think he's going to have to play it a little bit safer, but we do know how aggressive Nick Kaufman is. And he knows when to turn on the jets if somebody is gaining on him.
100% there. We're going to take our second final picture commercial break here as they file along this track single file. So I'll thank all of our partners, come back, talk about pit stops, and then close it out to the end of the race. Be back shortly. Stay tuned.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair, now available.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Tame.
Okay.
Back to full screen here. 54
Oh no.
laps to go. You are very welcome, guys, for that introduction back. And speaking of introduction, Jason Rockefeller over this broadcast commercial break decided to say, hey, by the way, this is my 201st official YouTube broadcast casted over the YouTube. So Jason Rockefeller, congrats on just crossing over the 200 line mark. Pretty cool to see, considering this is what you want your career to be. So that's a huge catalog to have at your repertoire.
Yeah, man. I completely forgot after Charlotte that Charlotte was my 200th. I'm sure, like I said during break, I'm sure I missed probably some. Obviously, during the course of my few years that I've been doing this now. But I mean, I've called over 200 races now, being between Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. But to go from all these various guys, anywhere from Race Spot to Fireball Talks NASCAR to you guys, LSR TV, Burnt Rubber Media, so many different people who have given me the opportunity to call races. I'm so thrilled to be able to call this home the last handful of years, to have you guys open me and welcome me back with open arms this year. It's been absolutely fantastic. I've loved every minute of it, calling these races with you guys. It's been such a privilege. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for me. To call over 200 races now on YouTube is absolutely fantastic. I don't know how many more it's going to take. Hopefully I'll get to where I want to be. But obviously I will never forget where I came from. Between LSR TV, you guys, and stuff like that. It's been a long road, but I've been here for every minute of it, and I've loved every single ounce of it.
Well, very good. I know you got a permanent seat here. You just say, hey, I'm showing up, and we're like, okay, here you go. Here's a microphone. And that's it. That's all you got to do here. So, so thank you for making this part of your journey, and under 50 laps to go in this race now. And I guess we got a couple more little flashy graphics we can kind of display. Dustin, just start clicking random buttons here. We got to thank a couple more partners as well. So you get them in queue. I'm going to thank our partners for the Thursday series, specifically here for Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Cup series action. And it's going to be BK Designs, specializes in high-quality custom iRacing paints for just $25 with $15 redos. So if you're looking for a sleek professional look or bold eye-catching design, look after BK Designs on Facebook. Then we also have Wheeler's Painting, which is Austin Wheeler's neck of the woods there. So if you're looking to turn your house into a home, find them on Facebook. They'll make your house look fantastic. And then Whitehead Auto Detailing, making sure your vehicle feels as good as new to you by also checking them out, of course, on the old Facebooky. And there's your three partners here for the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Cup Series. And then see, what have we not shown off, Dustin? You have so many different things that you're at your disposal.
I got something.
What do we got here? There, Fast Five. There it is. There's one that we didn't think about. Oh, Jason's
we got Tyler
something.
Bowling. Tyler Bowling's on pit road right now. So does Eddie Baker. And Tyler Bowling's going to be the first one down pit road. I believe we have a pit road graphic. Jeremy, you forgot. We could see who's gotten some repair time here tonight and what they've taken. I believe. There we go. There's the AI Chief patch-up report. Some repairs going out throughout the whole entire field. We've seen guys take 3 minutes and 15 seconds for Eddie Baker. Bryce Hedgecock with 2:13. Dana Ryan, Christian Marcelli, bunch of guys. But look at this, Jeremy.
Is he busy?
Up at the front, and look at Braxton Lewis and Nick Kaufman. They almost come together on pit road, and now they have come in side by side nearly. Boy, oh boy, this is going to all be about who can execute on pit road.
It's the Three Dips ice cream and the Ghost Energy serial killer scheme coming out onto pit road this time on lap 140. That was a joke to our commercial break that we had between me and Jason. And then, that's I love the call from Tyler Bowling. He noticed that Nick Kaufman's short pit worked wonderfully. It jumped him up several seconds. He was able to maintain the race lead. So Tyler, wait, is he still on pit road? Wait, 15 still on pit road. So
oh no,
I love the call, but what is going on with Tyler?
Oh no,
this race is for having only 17 entries, Jason. in
It's
184 laps. This is the
so
most
much drama.
chaotic, unchaotic race I've ever seen in my life. He's finally rolling off pit road.
Had to have had a penalty of some sorts, right?
Yeah, you would think, or had to take a dookie. I don't. I'm gonna try to. Oh, he missed pit road. He missed the cone, the entry cone. Tyler Bowling was wide of that. So yeah, he had at least a 40-second hold minimum.
Oh, somebody clipped that. Had to take a duke. Something. That was too good. That might be the only time I've ever heard Jeremy just kind of like come out of no context. He just was like, you know what? I'm gonna speak my mind. Maybe he took a dookie.
You know,
Oh, never change, Jeremy Stanley. Never change.
never changed. I know we're allowed to drop some curse words here and there on this show, and we've done it, and I've done it. But you know, I just kept a little PG that time for y'all out there. But I know you all want to hear me say shit versus dookie. But sometimes you got to get the laughter with the childish words that come out of my mouth. And you got 21 Jeremiah Nelson on pit road, Brandon Finley, who dropped out of 4th place. He's also on pit road, in and out just like that. So a lot shorter time frame from the first and last pit stop on this final green flag pit cycle.
Yeah, and looking back at what's going to be probably the battle for the race lead if no cautions come out, Nick Kaufman got out in front of the Braxton DeWeese by a little bit more than I think DeWeese probably anticipated, but oh my, like this is going to be so tough. You think about how many times we've seen Nick Kaufman in this position where he has been leading late. Something happens, not just to him, but something happens in the field, causes a caution. We are, by the way, yet tonight, knock on wood, we are yet to have a natural yellow tonight, despite all the drama. And do never scare me like that again. I literally just jumped up out of my seat nearly. I heard that, and I just got the crap scared out of me. I don't know can the viewers even hear that?
Oh, they can.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
it comes directly through my Discord microphone. So.
If you have headphones, God bless your soul, because Jeremy Stanley just scared the ever living poop out of you right there, probably like he almost did me. The dookie, or as the shit, as he says. But yeah, and I know Dustin did because I did too almost in my head. I turned my eyes. But back to seriousness. How many times we've seen this 95 machine have something happen to him late with a caution? You know, and then he ends up wrecking himself, wrecking somebody wrecks him, no matter what it is. Nick Kaufman's only got 1 win on the year. He should have easily about 3 wins, hands down, but it's just not been that way for him so far this season. He's got to be really careful. And we have not had a single green flag yellow here tonight, single green flag yellow here tonight. It's only been the stage caution. And with everything and how it's played out tonight, with how chaotic it's been, you'd think we would have had one. We just haven't yet.
The 18, Bryce Hedgecock, came down pit road, normal pit stop, no penalty, but also had a lengthy pit stop. It was probably for damage. He's got a little damage to the right front of his Toyota, so about another 40-second pit stop for the number 18. He's finally exiting pit road. He's still got some right front damage. You can see it right there. There's a crease in the hood and the fender to side panel area. See a little bit of this off the roof camera. But so something happened to the 18 that caused some damage. So quietly just having a lot of wrecks with no cautions. We've had, 4 times we've had to spin off of turn 4. That resulted in saves. That was out of 2 people, the 22 and the 69. And then just a couple of wall bangers on pit road entry, a couple of tire or water barrel smashes, and Dustin had said something I didn't pick up in my ear. The one, Mr. Dana Ryan off of turn 4. Thank you for that correction as well. So, yeah, all that resulted in nothing but green flag racing. And after the pit cycle, Nick Kaufman and Braxton DeWeese are only 2 race leaders minus Al Likens. That's it. 2 guys on their lead lap, Jason, after the 6 finds his way down pit road.
Al's just going to hold it out until as long as he can. And I don't blame him. I mean, you might as well, right? I mean, it didn't work out for him back at Richmond, but I mean, if he could just hold out for a little bit longer, it very well might work out for him here. He's going to have a yellow, and obviously Tyler Bowling, or rather Nick Kaufman and Braxton DeWeese, they're already back on the lead lap. They're only back by 18 seconds. They are gaining on him in a hurry. They are faster than him by almost about a second now. A little over a second. But I don't know what's going to happen, honestly. I mean, you see right there, it's tight. He's going to catch him in 29 laps, it says, for Kaufman to Likens, but there's 34 laps to go. Likens is going to need a caution, hands down. But the question's going to be is, will we get it?
Will we get it? That's probably the best question you can ask right now. And after the 6 does come down pit road, we're going to have a total, I think, 4 drivers on the lead lap. Brandon Finley's in the mix. Jeremiah Nelson is there, I think, in between the leaders. So it's still going to be under 5 drivers cycling through as your race lead lap drivers after everything is settled. With the 6, he's hoping, man. It's a very, if you're betting on some type of betting platform, you're probably plus 6,000 odds to pick up a caution between now and the end of this race. And Al Likens is all in on this bet, trying to cash in his chips here.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you do if you're the 6 machine, you know? I mean, you pit now, you lose all that track position that you gained. I mean, he's been up in the top 5. If he pits now, he's probably realistically going to drop all the way back to about 8th or 9th. Granted, if he does pit right now, there's only going to be 7 cars on the lead lap. He might fall 2 laps down, depending on, with how slow he's going, but I don't know. He's going to be lights out if he does pit, and he'll have the fresher tires, but at what cost? He's going to lose a shot to win the race. So he is just banking on a caution. I think that Al is going to run this thing as long as he can, because here's the thing that really interests me the most, Jeremy, is even though they are catching him, they have nearly 30 lap older tires plus than Al Likens for Kaufman and DeWeese. They've only gained so much. They're only 15 and a half seconds back. Last time around for Likens was a 30.228. Nick Kaufman is running a 29.8. If Al Likens can just hold out as long as he can, I'm not saying he can, but there might be a chance for him if he can just hold out as long as he can. For all I know, Jeremy, he could very well be saving fuel as well.
Do you think he can go 70 laps? That's the
Maybe.
lap that you would have to be at to make this race. 70 laps. So stage 1 was 50. They made it from start to end, no problem. But 70, an extra 20. I don't know. I mean, can we get a little onboard telemetry from the number 6 presented by TwistedSpeedSetups.com? We can get the RPM view of this car and see exactly what we're looking like. There's the fuel. So based
thin.
on that graphic, no. He's in 5th gear, of course. He's saving, but it looks like he's running a decent speed. So I'm gonna say he just cannot. He is praying for a cautionary day. He's full RPM before he shifts up. Yeah, he's still sending it.
If I were him, I would honestly just hold in the clutch going into the corners. I think that if he genuinely has a shot, Jeremy, somebody tell Al Likens. Somebody get a hold of somebody to tell Al Likens, please, brother, hold in that clutch. Hold in that clutch going into the corners. If he could just hold in that clutch and maybe shut off the engine heading into the corners, he might have a shot. The fact that they're going to catch him in a handful of laps is crazy. I don't think he's gonna save enough fuel. Obviously, he is so low. It's just crazy though that Al Likens is just the only guy I feel like in this series where he will continuously, no matter what racetrack it is, no matter what spot he is, he can be running 3rd the whole race. He'll somehow find a way to stretch it long, no matter where he's running. And you can see he's got over a straightaway. He's got half a track ahead of them. So it's not like he's got the position. It's just he doesn't have the fuel. So if he can just hold it in, he very well might be able to save a few more laps but he's going to need a caution for sure, no doubt about it.
Yep, as we're coming up to 24 laps to go. Still rocking it out there. Don't see any call-outs for pit road just yet for the car number 6. I'm gonna shout out at least one more partner, maybe even 2 before we close this thing out. Big thank you to Victory Fuel at drinkvictory.com. 3 amazing flavors, no additional colors added to your drink. As he comes down pit road, there goes Al Likens finally giving it up. And hold on to it. Don't be another one. Okay, kept it off the stat book. Very good. That was drinkvictory.com. That slide right there was sponsored by Victory Fuel, essentially. But 3 great flavors, no caffeine, bunch of you got the electrolytes and your vitamins and all that healthy stuff for your day-to-day use. And it's a smaller can. It's just enough to get you by. Tastes good. It's not a bunch. Just all good drink. And that's at drinkvictory.com. Promotion code SUPERNERD will save you 10% off your drink. And pick up my favorite flavor, Purple Potion, today.
Yeah, drink Victory. Obviously, Victory Fuel, great, and I will say that a million times more, great hydration drink. I know that they have the grape, but I got to try the fruit punch and the lemonade, obviously, about a year or so ago, thanks to Dustin. Man, I tell you what, y'all, definitely go pick yourself up a case on their website, because that fruit, it is so good. Definitely will hydrate you, definitely will energize you. If you don't like that, try their lemon. It's really good as well. Fruit punch, though, definitely the vibe for sure. And it's looking like a Victory Fuel victory lane here for Nick Kaufman, if he can just hold out for the next 21 laps over Braxton DeWeese. And remember, right before those green flag pit stops, we saw Braxton DeWeese struggle behind Nick Kaufman to try to run him down. The gap is only a second, so he's got a chance. Let's take a look here at this new graphic. I still don't even remember what it's called, but here we go. Driver versus driver. There we go. So Braxton DeWeese, this time by at the line. I don't know when he's going to catch him. I mean, the gap is pretty even, but it says that he's losing about 200ths a lap. So if Braxton DeWeese can put together some great laps, I think he could put the pressure down on Nick Kaufman. And I didn't really think this was Nick Kaufman's race to win, Jeremy. I really did think it was probably going to be between Braxton DeWeese and the 15 machine of Tyler Bowling. But for Tyler, we saw he had some mishaps. It's just not been his last third of the race he definitely wanted to. Same for Nate Lesko and some other guys. But for Braxton DeWeese, this has been his race to lose. And Nick Kaufman has had a lot of races where it's been his race to lose, and he has lost it. And tonight, he could very well be the guy who steals a win away from somebody whose race it was to lose. So for Nick Kaufman, it could be one that he sneaks away and closes that points gap on Nate Lesko. Or for Braxton DeWeese, you close it in a little more and you take home what's yours.
Yeah, Nick actually did himself a favor early in this race. Remember, he had that little mishap early on in stage 1. He's cleared of that now. So he's made that mistake early instead of late. It's now. Hopefully he can just have a clean, solid finish to get this thing done. But yeah, the 8 car Braxton just looked like that was the car to beat, no question about it. And then Nick decides to do the pit strategy to pit 24 laps earlier than the next leader, which was, of course, the 8 car Braxton. And he has not let go of the lead since. And then they came down pit road on this last green flag cycle together on the same lap. And I think that is the call that if we had to rewind the clock, Braxton would have maybe come down 3-4 laps prior, at least 1 or 2, right? Because once the 8 car comes down, Nick's probably going to jump right on it. So I think that's probably the call of the race for Nick's sake, having that same lap pit stop that kept his lead, and now instead of having a 24 lap difference in tires, they're equal, and he's still on the same part of the track as the 8. So as long as he can hit his marks, man, it's going to be a very tall task to get around this 95.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And for Deweese, he's had so much trouble in traffic here tonight, but we've seen it constantly. You know, it comes down to the nitty gritty of these points of the race. You know, you think back to the end of stage one, how many of these guys were getting up into the wall. Now, granted, there were a lot more contenders for the win in stage number one. Now, this is the end of the race. We got about 2 guys. By the way, 3 guys on the lead lap. Crazy. Out of a 17 car field, 3 are in the lead lap. The last one in the lead lap is Brandon Finley, who is 22.5 seconds behind. It's crazy. Oh, and now it looks like we're going to have more. I believe it was a little glitch for me for the time being. But, yeah, insane the fact that we've had a race go green this long. But we've seen it at the end of stage one. Things got chaotic. Nick Kaufman needs to hit his marks. He knows Braxton Deweese is fast, but the thing is for Braxton Deweese, he just keeps making mistakes. I've watched him these last 10 laps like we have, Jeremy, and he just keeps on getting up into the wall in turns 1 and 2. The car just swings out a little bit too tight and wide, gets up into the wall. He just cannot close his gap. Nick Kaufman's got that clean air. He's at the advantage. Braxton Deweese is going to have to find something else to do if he wants to try to run down this 95.
He's going to have to pull something. He's going to have to find a new way to ride around this track, something different that he hasn't tried yet to do anything with Nick, because I think Nick is kind of stretching this lead out here, just visually on the screen. Lap 173 rather underway, so we got 12 laps to go in race 14 of the season, race 3 in the chase format. And top 5 driver. We're going to cycle back just a few spots here to find Christian Marcelli, driver of the 35 here this evening. P5 for this guy. What a decent run for him. Started 13th. So he's up 8 positions to find himself up here, competing, taking advantage of some people's mishaps, and he's got a wide open track for himself. I'm not sure if we lost Jason there momentarily. There he is on the back straightaway here. Just all by his lonesome. So great job here by Christian. There goes Jason. He just fell out of our Discord channel. Oh, he slams the wall right when we're looking at him. That's a broadcaster's curse, not a commentator curse. That's Dustin putting the camera on him. He feels the pressure now. And that should not do much. Well, hold on. He's going to hit the wall again. So maybe Dustin did a little too much there to the 35. Jason, are you back?
Yeah, I think
back.
you caused me to leave.
I caused him to leave. I must have knocked on his door a little too loud. Oh, caution!
Oh
No
my God!
way! Turn 4,
no,
Al
it's
Likens'
Al
car,
Likens.
number 6. Loopsy daisy for the first caution of the race at the very end. What is this, real life NASCAR paying a driver to spin out? Just hits the wall, and here we go. Roundabout goes Al Likens. The first time we've seen someone loose off a wall bounce. Right in front of traffic.
Yep. And that's gonna do it. And I mean, obviously, nothing more. You know, it's not race control. That's just iRacing right there. Deems that he's a danger in front of other competitors. He's facing the wrong way. Definitely the right call by the iRacing service to throw the yellow right there. And now, this is going to be interesting, Jeremy. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you have to take tires. There's only 3 cars in the lead lap. Everybody's going to come down and take tires, but this is going to be a battle between Braxton Deweese and Nick Kaufman.
And this is going to be that guy we just talked about before this, the 35, Christian Marcelli, should be getting the wave around for the +1 extra life award, but we're going to validate that after. He should be getting it, which will not only put him a lap ahead, he's going to put him on the lead lap, and since the 6 had the incident, it's going to put him in 4th place. So now Christian has put himself in a potential chance of getting podium. pending the racer, the leaders can. Yeah, there he goes. He gets the wave around. So there's the official marker there. Going to go lead lap P4. I mean, he has a chance, right? If the leaders have a mistake, which we've seen at Richmond and other places, it's not out of the question that this driver, the 35, can get into a podium spot here this evening.
Yeah. And imagine how awesome that would be for Christian Marcelli to be able to come up here and talk to us in the booth after the race. It would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, this guy has had an up and down season, more of a down season than up. And to talk to us up here in the booth after the race would be fantastic. I would love to talk to Christian. Based on the iRacing service, where deems where you are located on the service, he is the only, I believe, besides Natasha Bedouin, I believe he and maybe another driver from Canada, but I think he is the only non-U.S. driver in this field. So that would be insane. First non-U.S. driver to be able to talk to us, I believe, after the race. That'd be awesome.
I'd be excited to see what happens here. It's going to take a mistake from either Brandon Finley, Nick Kaufman, or Braxton DeWeese. And speaking of those two, look who's ahead. Braxton gets the pit road advantage of having the first. Did he have the? No, he had probably the front pit stop. But either way, he's able to overtake the 95 on pit road. And now we got a flip flop for the race lead here. As Finley files in third.
Oh boy.
Yep. Lane choice to the outside. I don't know if I like that call, as you got the pit road report here. 2 tires versus 4. That'll do it, Jason. That'll put him P1. That's a bold call. It's gonna, I don't know. The lap 1 and lap 2 of this restart's gonna absolutely suck for the 8 car, but then it should mellow out. Do you think you should go to the inside and take the dive bomb to the bottom to secure the lead, or do you think the outside is the way to go?
I like the call on the outside. I just don't think it's going to be all that. I mean, Nick Kaufman is going to send it in as hard as he can right here. I don't know what to expect. I really don't. This is going to be one of the most interesting restarts we've ever called.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Green flag is in the air. Great
launch.
Spit the
tires.
There. Great launch. Yeah, so they're going to file single file just like that. Here we go. This is going to be... Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Saved
it!
it!
Oh, we're saved! Oh, no, he
Wow.
loses it, though!
No!
Oh!
Save it. No, little bonk to the end. Oh, no. Is
My
this a yellow?
goodness.
There's no traffic yet.
No traffic. He's going to keep it going. We stay green.
We are staying green flag racing. Marcelli, P3, should be in the podium if we all said and done the way they're running now. Can Brandon Finley do anything? Can he pull a rabbit out of his hat here in the final 4 laps of this race?
Listen, Nick Kaufman has been the king all year of choking away wins. I don't know if he could choke this one away. He's only got, realistically, a guy behind him who could run him down, and that's Brandon Finley, who just got up into the wall this time by. 3 laps to go for Kaufman. He has us lead by 0.3 of a second, but Brandon Finley is right there to pounce if he makes a mistake.
Yeah, that wall that hit there in turn 3 for the 94 probably going to be a little too heavy. We're going to find out. 2.5 laps to go. 3 to 4 car lengths is the separation of the 95 and 94. 95 runs the outside wall. Conservative line there for Finley as he hesitates from the last time he went through that corner set. 2 laps to go. And this lead is growing for the 95, so he just has to hit his marks, and that's it, man.
Yeah, not much more you could do. Now, lap and a half to go. Just hit your marks. Don't go too aggressive. And this has been such a great run for Nick Kaufman tonight. It has been a struggle bus here for the first half of the season for him. So many opportunities to win this season. He got one a few weeks ago. Now he's looking for his second. White flags in the air. 1 lap to go. It is all Nick Kaufman up in front of Brandon Finley by 0.75 of a second as he hits this down the back straightaway.
82 points out coming into this thing, of course, without the 48 And Nate Lesko having issues. This is going to jump him up a lot. We'll see what it looks like as he goes through 3 and 4 for the final time tonight. Second checker flag of the season goes to Mr. Nick Kaufman, winner of tonight's race at Darlington, as we got a 1 spinner in the back. Not going to matter to the finish. And IWP picks up yet another checker flag for their team.
Great job by Nick Kaufman tonight. Did everything right. I really didn't know what was going to happen there going into turn 1. Very surprised. Braxton DeWeese makes the mistake, but thankful enough for him. Everybody else behind him was a lap down, so he's still going to manage to finish 4th. But Nick Kaufman, great job, man. Takes home his 2nd win of the year. Most deserving for sure. Those last 2/3 of this race was definitely belong to him, and that is going to be a hell of a job done for him. Brandon Finley 2nd. Jeremy, Christian Marcelli, P3. We get to talk to him up here in the booth.
We sure do, man. That would be cool to get a word with him. And burn it down, Mr. 95. Cookout with the burnout. Front straightaway on the start-finish line as we're going to go over. Oh, Dustin with the dad joke here. Doing some Fruit Loops on the front straightaway. I like it. Very nicely done. I have a cereal bowl of a track known as Darlington. And here we go. Unofficial results here tonight of the 17-car field here this evening. The top 3 that we're going to be talking to them, Nick Kaufman, Brandon Finley, and Christian Marcelli, followed up with Braxton DeWeese and Tyler Bowling to round out the top 5, which is also your first driver 1 lap down. And then 6 through 10, you're going to find Al Likens, Jeremiah Nelson, Bill Hagan, Bryce Hedgecock, and Eddie Baker or the Jason go down the DNF list.
Rest of your 17-car field, you'll find Nate Lesko, your points leader. Tough night for him tonight, 2 weeks in a row with a DNF. He'll finish P11. Blake Treywick loses some spots as well. He'll finish P12. Brandon Kelly, 13th. Christopher Tate, Dana Ryan, Chris Cash, and Dylan Ellis round out your 17-car field.
Now, we do have to wait for Marcelli to jump in. We're not going to wait for him entirely, though. We got our other 2 in the waiting room. So what we're going to do here, as we're going to fire up our Victory Field post-race show, is we're going to talk to 2nd place first. And then after that interview is over, if we have Christian on deck, then we will pull him in. And if not, we will jump to our race winner and then still see if we can get Christian in Discord. But here we go. We're going to bring in our 2nd place finisher, Mr. Brandon Finley. Brandon, P2 here tonight. You started 3rd. Kind of a little bit of an up and down day, but the cards kind of fell right at the end, and you found 2nd place. Congratulations on a job well done here tonight.
Yeah, fellas. Hope it was fun. It's tough. Really all day it was just, we had the speed and quali, but I cooked the right front on race pace on the first stint on the after stage. So I took notes, came out and was doing a little bit better, and then just got the idea of like, hey, let's just run this one long and see what happens. And I just don't think there were enough cars for caution. So anyways, got a little bit too far behind the leaders to really make a difference, but kept the car clean, didn't spin it, and battle of attrition.
Was the car pretty tight or pretty loose for you? It looked like it was a mixed bag of who had what underneath them.
I kind of knew with the 750 package and the last time we were at Darlington and like officials that loose off of 4 is something to be very aware of. Tight. I would say tight is I felt a little bit more tight. The balance wasn't too bad. It was just the challenge was who could get through 3 and 4 with speed throughout the run. But yeah, more tight for me.
And Brandon, congratulations, man, on that runner-up finish. Definitely wanted one more spot better here tonight, man. But, you talk about a race of attrition, honestly, and that's exactly how this was. Was that what you anticipated coming into tonight? Because we all know Darlington is by far the hardest track to drive, probably.
Yeah, and a mental reset. Dover, I had speed and was fighting somebody late for 3rd, got wrecked. Texas, same deal. I keep finding myself in scenarios where I'm late battling for positions, and then I'm further back in the field because of context. So today it's on myself, just calm down a little bit. That's what the off strategy decision was for. It's like, hey, get away from people and just kind of run your race. So really that's what it was. It's kind of a mental accountability for like, hey, you keep wrecking at the end of races. Well, you're doing something that has to do it, even if somebody else hits you or initiates it. So that's really what today was, and the lesson paid off, right? P2, an opportunity for P1 when the 8 got sideways, but I couldn't do it to my teammate to squeeze him up there with the spinning car in front of him. It felt wrong, especially because he had the lead locked up. So we backed out. Nick got through, and then it was just follow the leader.
Yeah, man. Well, great stuff out there tonight. Job well done, and appreciate your time up here. Any sponsors, thank yous, just any comments at all before we let you go here this evening?
Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys showing up, showing out. I know there's some difficulties tonight with the lobby, and then you guys are a really good broadcast. So the shout outs go to you guys tonight. So appreciate you.
Thank you for that, Brandon. Awesome job here, and we will catch you next week for the race number 4 of the chase format. So we'll see you next week.
See you then.
Yes, sir. Brandon Finley giving us a nice little compliment there, and nobody else. So we got the floor on that one, and now we're gonna go to our race winner. Still no sight of Mr. Marcelli. Me and Jason were really hoping to get a word, but we still have one interview to go through, and then maybe we'll get him. But we're gonna fire up the Icon Apparel Company Victory Lane. Jason's first time getting to see this nice little graphic redone Victory Lane, as we got Nick Kaufman, the serial killer there, Fruit Loops machine. Nick, congrats on your second win here this season.
Appreciate it, fellas. Serial killer. I kind of like that.
Yeah, we were talking about in our commercial break. There's a Ghost energy drink called Serial Killer, and it tastes exactly like Fruit Loops. So why not just pass it on to you, man? You took advantage of some miscues, but more importantly, that pit stop. You pitted 24 laps earlier than Braxton Deweese, and you took the race lead. And even though on the old tires, you locked in, man. You kept that lead. Didn't matter. And then, of course, when him pitted on the same lap on the final stop, you had it in the bag essentially there. So what was the idea behind that call to pit so early?
Yeah, track position is king here, especially on fixed setups. And I was banking that there wasn't going to be a caution thrown in any pit cycle tonight, and thankfully that happened. But yeah, I knew that if I could just get down pit road before Braxton and him not come down right after me for that first pit cycle, that I would be able to cycle ahead of him. When I came out of the pits during that cycle, I was just telling myself, don't floor it immediately. Just take care of the tires for a few laps, because I was still obviously faster than the guys on old tires. So I knew I would have to make my tires last a little bit longer for that stint until the next pit stop. And then from there, I just kind of had to run a mistake-free race and let Braxton try to get over the dirty air. But yeah, I didn't take myself out of it this time, so came home with a dub. Feels good.
And Nick, congratulations, man, on your second win of the season. Now, Nate finished 11th, I know, and obviously he had 2 bad races in a row. He did extend that points lead a little bit, but it did shrink for you from your spot. You jump up 2 spots according to the lead standings after tonight. I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments based on, I know there were some issues with the hosted to league sessions here tonight. But, man, as of right now, you find yourself 47 points behind Nate Lesko for this points lead, man. Handful of races to go. You've been kind of lightened up here from the end of the regular season into the chase. You feel any confidence here going into these next few races, my guy?
I do. I kind of feel confident most races, as long as I don't beat myself. And I think that you got to have that kind of mindset as a driver, that you can go out there and win any week against any competition. So I like the tracks coming up on the schedule, and I'm going to have some wins to be able to catch Nate, and he's going to be one of the main ones that I'm fighting against for wins. So I think it's going to be a good end to the season. I think it's going to be exciting, and I'm hoping I come out on top, but everything's going to fall where it will.
Yep, it sure will, man. And we'll see what it looks like next week. It'll be a lot closer when we get that graphic fully updated. But congratulations, second one of the season, man. Floor is yours, of course. Thank anyone who you would like to thank.
Yeah, appreciate it, gentlemen. Shout out Chris Cash for getting everything figured out tonight with, iRacing having issues and coordinating with everybody in the league, and we still were able to get 17 cars out here on such short notice. So huge deal to have all of that come together. I appreciate you guys being up in the booth and putting on entertainment for everybody else to watch us race, and I always go back and watch the broadcast after the race too, and I enjoy it. So thanks to you guys. And then I want to shout out my IWP team members. We had a pretty good team night tonight, even though Tyler had some issues, Nate wrecked out. Still decent finishes, and obviously Nate has that points lead. But yeah, so IWP guys had a big night. And finally, I want to shout out my wife and my little girl. And next month we're gonna add to it and have a little boy. So looking forward to that.
It's fantastic news, man. Congratulations on that. Hopefully all goes well there. And good job, man. Good job here tonight. And we'll catch you next week for race number 4 of the chase format. And have a good rest of your evening.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, fellas.
Yeah, man. Christian Marcelli not available. So we're going to kick it to the final thoughts section of the broadcast. And Jason, that was one caution that was due to a wreck. One caution per the stage break. But in between, there's a lot of low points and a lot of kind of excitement along the way. What's your final takes of the night?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long green flag run race. I mean, you can't really say anything but that. I mean, we had that one caution, unfortunately, due to Al Likens at the end of it. But other than that, I mean, it's Darlington. This is what we've expected with the next gen. It's not a short run race. It's always been a long run race. It's very hard to pass here. Dirty air means everything. The first stage was absolute cinema. It was awesome. Loved it there for the end of it. We saw the guys, you saw your comers and goers, guys passing in the middle of the stage. And then all of a sudden, end of the stage, everybody just, all hell breaks loose like usual with Darlington. And it was great. I loved calling it. I'm really excited for the next handful of weeks because, think about it. Nate Lesko, 2 races in a row. He's had poor finishes to his standards. This is an opportunity to capitalize. Nick Coffins jumped up 2 spots after tonight. Braxton DeWeese had a good night. If Austin Wheeler was here, sure, Austin would have did fantastic. So it makes everything a lot more better for everybody to try to close it on Nate Lesko. I think it's going to be a really tight championship battle here towards the end of it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thank you guys for tuning in. The YouTube side was pretty good overall. Twitch, I mean, we had some moments, but it's I know there was kind of a weird night with the hosted stuff and whatnot. But thank you guys for popping in and chiming along. And that's it. We're going to bring this thing to a close. Catch us live broadcast-wise Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. Dustin Loxton, our producer tonight, going solo on some races like he did last night. You might catch him on a Saturday. Might catch him on a Monday. He fires it up whenever they're always finding a super speedway race to partake in. But thank you guys once again. He's got some other ones in there. He's been doing some short track stuff. That's right. Absolutely. Can't discredit that. So being a little diverse in 2026, Mr. Dustin is. But thank you guys again. Jason, pleasure as always. Have a good rest of your night, y'all. Stay safe. We'll see you Tuesday.
The rubber moves roll with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. No TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pounding, engines climb. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Fight to fight, we live the speed. The TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pounding, engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Through each hairpin, a battle unfolds. Screaming louder to the waves. Fuel burns in the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber moves roll with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live for speed. No TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pound and engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul.